the new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A-game to the table. There we go. What are these fighters going to do? Puts one in the pocket. Goes for the fireball. An aggressive attack. Player one chases them down. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Absorbs the attack and fires back. Decides to puff up while they can. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Nice drive impact sends them connecting to Heaven's Wi-Fi. Good sense to let it rip. Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Jumps up. There's a change of sides. The Condor wind added a bit of juice to that attack. Both fighters planning something? Throws a fireball. Player one will look to apply pressure here. Drive reversal. Hits up the counter. This is going to end the meter. Hoping for a good return. Freezing hot. Player one holding on to that corner event. There's the counter we wanted. Flatline zone. Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Manages to block the jump-in attack. Decides to meet them in the air. Good anti-air. Player two will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Let's see how they apply their corner pressure in this situation. Player two is in burnout. Drives off the table. Life lead opens up. KO. Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? The jump-in is denied. The Condor wind added a bit of juice to that attack. There's an overdrive shorty. Throws a projectile to zone the opponent. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. They're trading attacks. Going on the offensive? The punish counter gives them a great opening here to do big damage. A super art? Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here. A drive impact could end it all here. Burnout activates. Player two can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. There's no lapse in judgment goes unpunished. Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Decides to buff up while they can. Spends the gauge on the drive rush. Now they get pushed into the corner, where it's going to be very difficult to escape. Player two in that dangerous burnout state. One fighter's drive gauge is just about empty. Can they recover, or are they with this super art connect? Adds a little super juice into this combo for more damage. The jump-in is denied. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Player two has completely used all of their drive gauge, but they still have enough life left to take the round if they play smart. Oh god, this is tense. Going on the offensive? They were right to be on guard. Threats it cleanly. Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. What a reaction to go air to air. Holds out with the block. Projectile to try and change the situation. Neither of them willing to back off here. The Condor wind added a bit of juice burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to change. Player two in dire straits with burnout. Hits up the counter. This is going to be huge. Player one needs to use the threat of the corner here. A super art? Oh, is this it? Or are they still in there? And it's just enough. Solid read on the bars. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. opens with a cross-up attack. It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. Just goes for it at this range. My girl's flying. Player 2 won out those close scuffles, and now they gotta have a plan for the next round. Both absolutely refute with the solar plexus strike. Absolutely relentless. Player 2 is in burnout state, preparing to charges up the plasma. What now? Gets the counter hit and the win.
Lily.
Player 1 is a force to be reckoned with. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Genso crowns him from above. Backs in and hits him with a stopping bomb. Decides to puff up while they can. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Player 2 can't let their drive gauge run out. They need to find a way to reset the situation with this super art connect. Heats it up with a combo into super. Knockdown. Delivers the pain right to their doorstep. Player 2 has completed their drive gauge, but they are still within range to win this round. Going Extreme Coup Hadouken. Springs forward with a drive rush. KO. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Pokes with a medium kick. Checks him with a projectile. Big counter. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Scrapping it out, up goes for the super art. Goes end to end with a freezing hot. Nice damage. Player 2 is in a pretty good situation with the meter advantage. Sneaks in above. Not much life difference. Will we see a drive impact? Have they noticed the drive gauge gap? Barely blocks the jump in. Their space is cleared for landing. Sets up with the jump in. More fuel to the fire. Cook them up. This is gonna kill, no doubt about it. Did not miss that chance and takes the round. Player 2 faced the giant and walks away unscathed. What a win! Are these two gonna fight forever? Time to get down to business. The first round starts now. Medium kick. Gets a chance with that jump. Deals some damage with that quick combo. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. I wonder how both fighters will adapt to what we've seen so far. Brings out the super art. How is this gonna work out for them? Knockdown. This is a huge chance to make a feel. Player 1 is maintaining the KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Immediate jump in. They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Takes them all the way to them. There's an overdrive shorty. Neither of them willing to back off. Going in. Player 1 holding on to that. Hits them with a stopping bomb. The Condor Wind added a bit of juice to that attack. Both fighters experiencing burnout. Big opportunity now in there. Well, listen, when you're locked in, you're locked in. That was a decisive win. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? A little too greedy there. The low heavy hit. Puts one in the pocket. Perfect air-to-air. No good up high. Finds the time to squeeze in a buff. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Did well to get the buff in there. Porter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Knockdown. Life lead opens up. That's the Getso. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Decides to buff up while they can. Dashes up. The Condor Wind added a bit of juice to that attack. They gotta make sure not to splurge with that drive gauge and leave themselves hit them with a stopping bomb. What'll happen here? With burnout, they get the tempo of the match to change. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Ring Hadouken! Player 1 needs to use the... It's a good spot to use the super. A quick breather. They got the meter front, doesn't let up and gets the stun. This round may be as good as over. The Condor win at experiencing burnout. KO! Player 1 took no time to finish that fight.
Here comes a new challenger.
Two of the biggest lab monsters are about to get it going.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Uses this opportunity to really lay into the opponent with a damaging combo. No good up high. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. What are they thinking here? Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. The jump in is denied. The quarter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Impact's a no-go. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Brushes off the impact. Hits the drive reversal. Decides to puff up KO. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Did well to get the buff in here. Swoops in with a dive. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Still very early in the round. A quick breather with a super art connect. Thunderbird! And with Condor win stock, it's gonna deal even more damage. Player 2 is what burnout activates. Player 2 in dire straits with burnout. You've gotta be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Gutsy play with the grab. Going in, fires off the Shinju Hadouken. And they keep on in there. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this one. Open leads them air to air. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Barely reversal. The low kick hits. Walks while they're blinking. Anti-air in the clutch. Condor, putting the cherry on top. Up for the freezing hop. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, they just choked it up! Back to the court! Are we gonna clinch it? What a finish! Player 1 is a force to be reckoned with. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. This is the time to use fireballs to chip away at an opponent. Breaks the block with a throw. Starts with a jumper. Knockdown. Player 1 chases them down. Sticks the combo. Puts one in the pocket. Gets the KO. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Big counter. Player 2 couldn't even get a tickle in. Might be time for a change. They back the opponent into the corner, brushes that off and keeps going. Player 1 holding on to that, experiencing burnout. What'll happen here? Player 2 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious, charges forward. Risky up-close scraps still going. They can't squander this punish counter tank. Burnout activated. Up for the freezing hop. That final push at the end paid off in spades. When you have a chance to finish things, you gotta take it. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Swoops in with a dive. Both fighters have plenty of health. Where is this match gonna go? trips him up. Well-timed command throw there. What are these fighters thinking now? Porter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Did well to get the buff in there. Did the super art connect? And a super activation. Nice. Sees the combo through and takes the round. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. A brave forward jump there to start. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out is so vital. Spends the gauge on the drive rush. Takes the opponent out of the air. This is a chance to dictate the pace. Brushes that off and keeps going. They've got the meter for a drive impact. Player 1 will look to apply pressure. Looking to impress. If this super goes end to end with a breezing hop. Nice damage. There's a wall splash in there. That's what happens when you capitalize on all of your chances. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Did well to get the buff in there. Checks him with the projectile. There's a drive rush to throw the opponent off balance. We're still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Gets the throw to side switch. Knockdown. Puts one in the pocket. Sticks the combo. Neither of them willing to back off here. Did well to get the buff in there. In a dire situation. There's an overdrive shorty. Player 2 can't use burnout. Let's check the tempo of the match if you can't. This is gonna be bad KO. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Anti-air drops him. Tries him open with a Shoryuken. Decides to buff up while they can. Player 1 won out those close scuffles, and now they gotta have a plan for the next round. Super art on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. Going on the offensive? They're going for the super art? Springs forward with the drive rush. Will we see a drive impact? Barely blocks the jump in. Smart play with the throw. Drive rush to keep it going. Fire! Noticeable life. Burnout activates. Flatline time. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Oh, we're not done yet. Looks like they're both warmed up. Plenty of time left. How's the match gonna play out? They get the distance they want. Let's see their approach. Who's it gonna be? Both sides have full drive and plenty of health. Let's see how things open up. You can use a drive rush like that there to maintain the pressure. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. The pressure continues as they can't escape the corner. They need to find a way out. One fighter's drive gauge is just about empty. Can they recover, or are they in trouble here? How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? Both players with no drive in the tank. Goes for the super art? Ooh, wants to hit it big here with the super art. All right, what's coming up next? Player 2 can't afford mistakes without that drive. Oh, what's this? Digs in deep to get that drive in. They need to rely on their instincts. In there! Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Jump. Okay, they trade hits. The super. This is gonna be bad news. What'll happen? They're going for the super art? Player 2 is working with a better game. What can they do with it? Both fighters on super art? Goes end to end with a breezing hop. Nice damage. Player 2 springs forward with a drive rush. Player 2 in dire straits with burnout. The Condor win added a bit of juice. Green Guru Hadouken. Player one needs to... What a sick counter! It's like they knew exactly what was gonna happen. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Knocked him out of the air. Pumping hard. Fire! Buck finds the target. Anti-air in the front. Player two needs to wait this out. Here comes the corner pressure. There's the burnout. That corner tries to act quickly, but with the attack. Comes off the tank and scores the win. That was catching.
Here comes a new challenger.
We're in for something special right here, right now.
Round one. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Deftly shuts out the jump in. Blocks the jump in. Well, they managed to escape the corner, but they can't let their guard down. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. No good up high. Did well to get the buff in there. Takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Decides to puff up while they can. Throws them. What's next? Player two is going to have a hard time managing their drive match. Quarter makes it hard to escape. Brushes that off and keeps going. Player two is gonna have to wait for that drive gauge. Finishes them with a drive impact. Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Delivers the pain right to the doorstep. Will we see a drive impact? Gets a risky buff in. Watch out! Typhoon coming through. Finishes it with the anti-air. Well, listen. When you're locked in, you're locked in. That was a decisive win. Let's see what these fighters have up their sleeves out of the gate. Reads them. Puts one in the pocket. Well-timed command throw there. Decides to buff up while they can. Below heavy hit. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Player two is almost dead, but some clutch drive moves and a few prayers can turn this around in their favor. I can't keep track of these corner switches. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. KO! Player one hits up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Very solid tomahawk buster. Smart play to stop the opponent. The low doesn't connect. Player one didn't rely too much on drive in that last round, but they may be looking to mix things up. They back the opponent into the corner. Now burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to change. Real weak uses the gauge for a super arm. Taking him up with the level 2 super. Thunderbird gets the counter hit for the win. They're so good at whiff punishment. That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins matches. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Did well to get the buff in there. The cross-up connects. Goes for the command grab. Goes air to air to deny them a chance. Spends the gauge on the drive rush. Player two is just about out of drive after that. Decides to buff up while they can. Getting into the end game now, it's getting tense. This is the range where things get messy. The punish counter gives them a great KO. Player one hits up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Tomahawk buster! How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Opts for the air-to-air. Flies them open with a Shoryuken. Going on the offensive? Oh, they're in the corner now. No running away. They've got the meter for a drive impact. Hits them with a stopping bomb. Jumps up. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. No! This will break KO! Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Finds the time to squeeze in a buff. Backs them into the corner. Both fighters have plenty of health. Where is this match gonna go? Player 2 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weaker. Fantastic reactions there. That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Knockdown. Wraps it up with the drive impact. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Everything up until now, and everything from here on delivers the pain right to the doorstep. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Just goes for it at this range. Goes end to end with a breezing hawk. Nice damage. Sneaks in above. Still slugging it out at this range. Player 2, burnout triggered. Hooks up. This is going to deal some big damage. And it sets up with the jump in. Oh my god, they just choked it up. Reversal. What's this Kiku Hado gonna do? What a finish. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us. Are these two gonna fight forever? Time to get down to business. The first round starts now. Mexican Typhoon! Player 1 has a slight life lead that they may sit on. Now they get pushed into the corner, where it's going to be very difficult to escape. Solid blocking. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. They're barely hanging in there. Can they hold out? Get some. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Player 1 has a slight life lead. There's a change of sides. Was hungry for the grab. It got the meter for a drive impact. Wins out in the battle of the skies. Player 1 brings it home.
Comes a new challenger.
HP maxed, side quests done, and the skill tree's fully unlocked. Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Checks with the projectile. The impact gets blocked. Deftly shuts out the jumper. Player 2 has the life lead. The quarter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Did well to get the buff in there. Oh, talk about overextending. Not shy with the grab. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Holds out with the block. Checks them with the projectile. Decides to buff up while they can. Player 1 baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Player 2 can't afford Dream 2 Hadouken. Closing moments of the KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Jumps. Did well to get the buff in there. The fighters continue to check each other in the early going. Swoops in with the dive. Projectile to try and change the situation. Jumps in. Condor win and ends the meter. Hoping for a good return. Will we see a drive? Burnout activates. Player 2 just goes for it at this range. A jump in? Oh, burnout triggered. A lot of pressure building up here. Oh boy. Both next one. Oh! Putting the cherry on top! Tops off the tank and scores the win! Player 1 gets the win in a convincing fashion! It's not over yet! Let's believe it's time for that run back! Barely blocks the jump in! That's a counter! Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. They gotta escape from the corner before the pressure builds up. Neither of them willing to back off. No good up high. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. I wonder how both fighters will adapt to what we've seen so far. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. What a clutch side switch there. Now they need to capitalize on this chance. Next hit will end the round. In there! Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Did well to get the buff in there. Pressuring the situation with the charging. Brushes that off and keeps going. Still slugging it out at this range. Jumps up. Condor Wind added a bit of juice to that attack. They've got the beater for a drive impact. Smart play with the throw. Tries to act quickly but whips the attack. Going in, player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Condor in there. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Jumps in. This is a good range to test the opponent's reaction to fireballs. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. What are they thinking here? Cross-up blocked. No good up high. Well-timed command throw there. What's the play here? On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Checks him with the projectile. Did well to get the buff in there. Player 1 chases him down. Takes a trip. Throws him to negate the block. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Who will capitalize in there? Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? They were right to be on guard there. Decides to buff up while they can. The quarter makes it hard to hit them with a stop and bop. Player 1 holding on. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. The Condor Wind added a bit of juice to that attack. KO. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? A trip drops them. Barely blocks the jump. Oh my, the throw tech. Close while they're blinking. Fire coming through. Player 1 can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Nothing stops this train. Player 2, oh, putting the cherry on top. Do it to them. Show the people what they can achieve, Ryu. Dangerous range here. Player 1, that's gonna leave him rattled. What now? Willing to risk it for the overdrive. Raw super art incoming. Oh, looking for the definitive end to this round with a level 3 super. Player 1 comes out on top of that fierce battle. Talk about a show. That match had it all. It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back. Goes to the air. Decides to meet them in the air. Gets a risky puck in. Turns it up a notch and sends them to the corner. Holds out with the block. Oh, easy 10. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. The jump in is denied. Solid combo. Checks them with the projectile. This is the range where this super art connects. Oops. they were anticipating that super art in a dire situation. They can't afford any mistakes. Big counter. KO. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Fantastic reactions there. Delivers the pain right to the doorstep. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Side switch in the corner. Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? Going in, springs forward with the drive rush. Goes end to end with the breezing hop. Nice damage. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. What'll happen here? Fire coming through. Will we see a drive it? It got him up against the wall and the stun to KO. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Oh, we're not done yet. Looks like they're both warmed up. Did well to get the buff in there. Finds the time to squeeze in a buff. Puts one in the pocket. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Definitely shuts out the jump in. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Maintains composure and pushes out of the corner. Player 2 needs to use what little drive they have left effectively. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. The punish counter gives them a great opening here to do big damage. A super art? Thunderbird KO. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Did well to get the buff in there. The Condor Wind added a bit of juice to that attack. Player 1 chases him down. Dashes forward. Hits him with a stopping bomb. Dashes. Breaks the block with a throw. Looking for a chance. Blocks the impact. Ooh, what's this? What's gonna happen? Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Ends the meter. Hoping for a good return. Freezing hot. A quick breather. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Experiencing burnout. Oh, putting the cherry on top. Is this gonna kill? Hanging by a thread. Just needs one final push. Condor Wind is helping them to a finish. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Open anti-air in the clutch. Jumps up. Gets on fire. Player 1. Perfect execution with the anti-air. Player 1 with the rhythm owning that space. Amazing turns out. Jump. Throws him. What's next? Flatlines him. Player 1